You know, art is a huge part of a holistic education. And when you're talking about educating the whole person and preparing students for a college environment, you have to, teach in an academic way the arts. And, students come up to me all the time and say, oh, I can't draw, I can only draw a stick figure. And my response to them is always, well, you haven't been taught. If you were never taught to do an algebraic equation or do a scientific experiment or write an English paper, you wouldn't be able to do it either. And I think sometimes there's this thought that art is only about natural talent. It's not about learning, but we all have something to learn.
When we're talking about art in CBA, I feel like it's kind of like a really integral part of that, because we kind of had nothing. Like when I came in as a freshman, even my sophomore year, there really wasn't that much art, like fine arts-based stuff. Like we have performing arts and we have sort of a bunch of other clubs and sports and activities and that, but there was really no emphasis on the arts. Like when I first came in, I kind of felt like I was the only person that actually painted and did actual art, because most people just don't talk about it. And
in terms of art, I'm extremely interested in graphic design, and I've been pursuing it outside of school independently. And it all started, with social media, honestly. And I would have never thought I was going to do graphic design in my 8th grade year in middle school. And so I started to pursue it, and overall just landed me my first internship recently. And so I think this is going to overall benefit future CBA students, because it's just going to give them a bunch of different avenues of art to explore.
The eventual plan for the full curriculum in the arts will start with introductory classes. Next year we're offering Introduction to Drawing and Introduction to Painting. We're going to have mixed media classes. Eventually we're looking to add sculpture classes. We'll also have a photography class next year for those students, and that's a great cross-curricular course that can be used in digital media, can be used in other avenues of the school. So we're looking at really expanding the program. We have a brand new space, and I said it to someone the other day, if you build it, they will come, right? We spent yesterday picking out fixtures and lighting, and it's going to be a state-of-the-art experience for the kids. So I think this is only growing.
Usually, even with the art club, there's still very limited amount of time in the windows I'm able to actually paint, and I've spent more time setting up than I spend actually painting, because we were in this classroom. I have to set everything up, then I have to paint, and then I have to clean everything up when class ends or when we stay after and the meeting ends. And so I think if we have, with the classes, we also, in the new spaces, we have an opportunity for less of that and more just direct painting. And I also think, educationally, we have an opportunity to learn more directly.
And I happened upon a student a few years ago who had some natural gifts, and I kind of just randomly saw him in the library one day drawing. And it did spark for a lot of us, people who are interested in art, but also a lot of the students, to think about, what are we missing here? That we have a student, if there's one student, there's 50 students maybe that have an untapped interest or talent that needs to be somehow funneled in some way. So along with that student, with some others who now will be graduating this year, over the course of the next year, we put together the CBA Art Club, which meets during enrichments and also after school, and we started doing some projects together, some serious and some just fun. During Christmas, we had kids making, snowflakes, and we had students painting a mural on the back wall here. Meanwhile, our serious art students Will DeResta, who's a senior, was working on his oil paintings, which you see behind me. So a wide array of interests. We had students who were interested in photography, some who were just starting out and didn't know what to do, and were just having fun.
100%. I'm going to be discovering new avenues. So next year I will be taking intro to painting and photography, which are two things I've never even done before, because I want to range my portfolio, not just graphic design, because currently right now I only work with my computer, but I want to make a wider range of of work. So I'm happy to explore those different avenues and disciplines.
And it makes me feel like, oh, like our club is being taken seriously. People see this as a, people are giving us opportunities, like seeing this sort of like as a resource to build up the school and something that could be promoted. And so all that stuff really stood out to me, and it gave all of us opportunities to sort of be even more creative, because even some of those maybe not stuff we're all 100% comfortable with, but it allows us to think differently and use like our creative skills in ways that we don't always get the opportunity to do.
I wasn't even expecting the level of excitement that came out of just the announcements, not just about art, but all of the new academic programs at CBA. I came back to my classroom after the announcement. They were asking me a million questions. I had a couple of freshmen who were saying, you know, listen, I want to be an architect. Like, this is where I want to go. This is the path I want to go. And I think that, you know, in a college preparatory environment, sometimes you see the arts as, you know, it's kind of the thing that people forget sometimes. It's the thing that you think of as just like arts and crafts. And you forget the fact that it's an academic pursuit that can lead to certain careers: graphic design, advertising, social media. All of these sorts of things have a background in the fine arts that students need to start getting at the secondary levels.